with is a stretch. So the first one we're gonna do is gonna be a horizontal wrist and shoulder stretch. So you're gonna extend those arms forward, nice, relax, and then you're gonna start rotating those wrists either inward or outward. Now, modification for this, if you do have shoulder pain or you have wrist pain, then you individualize it. You can add support of that wrist and minimize the movement. If not, you're fully extending. Good job, everyone. From here, in about 10 seconds, the next one we're gonna go is we're gonna go overhead. So now go ahead and extend those arms, and then same thing, rotating the wrist. So now if you do have shoulder pain, you don't wanna elevate over the head, then just keep it right here, nice and center. But if you have full range of motion or you feel comfortable, make sure you're breathing. Biggest thing too is to breathe and relax. For those like Jane was talking about hand cycling, what we do a lot in hand cycling is we use the rotator cuff when we're engaging in that movement. So we really got to add and target every side of the shoulder. From here, the next one we're going to do is you're going to take the left arm behind your neck, then put that hand, and then you're going to lean to the right. Now, modification for this, if you don't want to do that movement, you can always grab a band if you have one, and then you're extending that in front of you. Now it's engaging the tricep, and make sure you're breathing. So if you're doing the lean, make sure you do a nice good stretch. Take deep breaths, come back to center. Good job, everyone. From here, in about 5 seconds, we're gonna rotate to the right. So go ahead and rotate arms. Good job, Barry. Good job, Brent. Good job, Susan. Good job, Jane. Anita's doing it while walking. Good job. Next one we're gonna do is now we're gonna engage our shoulders. So go ahead, either you're standing, seated athletes, or on the ground. Go ahead and drop those arms nice and relaxed. Then you're gonna bring those shoulders nice up. Engage them. Some people like to roll them back. It's your choice. Make it your own. If you want to go forward, biggest thing is to breathe and focusing on just raising the shoulders, the squeeze. We got about 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next one is keep those hands nice and relaxed by your side. Either you're seated on the ground, standing, or on your chair. You're gonna bring those arms away from you. Palms are facing away, and you're gonna go as far as you can go, engage them. Some people are really flexible. If you can touch them, it's okay, you don't have to. What it's doing is engaging the backside of our shoulder, also our triceps.
You have your hands face up?
Yeah, so there's two
Palms
ways.
up.
There's one way you can do it this way. Now you're just gonna go back. If you turn your hands away from you, you can try to grab them. If you're really flexible, like me, I struggle with it. But both target different areas. You can start off with just palms facing away and reach back. And then the next stretch will be you turn them to the back, and then you're gonna try to reach them. So both work. One is targeting the triceps, one is targeting the back of our shoulder. So the next one we're gonna do is go ahead and bring them forward. You're gonna bring those palms together, and then you're gonna go up and down, working on the wrists. Since we do, if you, like Monica, you use wrist weights, if you participate in fitness classes and you use weights. For this one, if you did have wrist pain or wrist injury, then same thing, you isolate it, and then you're just gonna focus on one at a time as a modification for it. Sam is making his own creation. He's going side to side. That's a great modification. So make it your own when you stretch. Make sure you're breathing. Slow it down. Hello, Lena. We're just getting warmed up. Okay, in about 5 seconds, the next one we're gonna do is you're gonna drop both hands. You're gonna start with that left hand down, and you're gonna bring the right one overhead. and then reach. A modification for this, same thing as always, if you do have limited range of motion, your shoulders, then you're just across. So breathe. Okay. In about 5 seconds, you're gonna now move to the next side. So go ahead and bring that right arm down. Keep the right hand down, and the left arm is going across.
Are we supposed to be bending over to the side at the waist at the same time or not?
Yeah, if you can add that lean, Susan. If not, you're just focusing on really extending the arm.
Thank you.
That itself will stretch those obliques. So go ahead and come down. Next one we're gonna do is, if you're a seated athlete, you're just gonna start shifting weight with your trunk, moving. If you're standing, now that goes into our hips. So you're just gonna move the hips. If you're seated on the ground, same thing. You are just now, you can really reach. So all those work, I'll show for Sam, who's on the ground. He's doing it where he's just moving the trunk. And then Sam, you can really reach. What that's gonna do is it's gonna engage those hip flexors and our glutes when you lean forward. So go ahead and now rotate the opposite way you're going. And those that are doing standing, I want you to now really support your knees. And then now you move that movement to your knees. Seated athletes, if you're able to, you can do one knee at a time. Getting those joints nice and open. If not, you're still doing that trunk rotation. Good job, everyone. From here in about 5 seconds, next one we're gonna do, whether you're seated, standing's kind of hard, but I would recommend if you can go on a chair, you're gonna do a back arch. So you're gonna lean back, really extend that up. If you're standing, you can go ahead and lean back. And then if you don't want to elevate those arms, then you're just leaning on your chair and then arch the back. Good job, everyone. Make sure you're breathing. Take deep breaths. You can slowly come down and then elevate again. So do a count of 3 at your own pace. We're extending the spine, really relaxing it. Once you get your 3, we're gonna go into our next one. So continue going at your own pace, jump in when you're ready. The next one you're gonna do is, if you're a seated athlete or sitting on the ground, you're gonna put those hands on your knees or the palms. What you're gonna do is you're gonna extend down, really straighten out that back, and then you're gonna curve it when you come up. So nice, relax, arch it, and then brushing, there you go. So really now working on our chest and our spine. So basically also you're gonna come down, curve, and then good, working on our posture. Good job, everyone. Next one, the last one, is if you're a seated athlete or sitting down, you're gonna work on those hips so you can open them if you're able to move them. If not, you're gonna do it manually with your hands or palms. What that's working is our hip flexors, our hips. Now, if you're standing, there's a couple of variations. You can go down into a nice deep squat where you're opening those knees. If you're a seated athlete, you can shift weight, and let's go to the left, and you bring that leg back. Now it's engaging a different angle of our muscle. And then those that are on the ground, you can do the butterfly. There you go, Sam's doing it. That's a good way to stretch that, opening it. So go choose one, make sure you're breathing. Don't exceed your range of motion. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So grab some water. Make sure you always have water with you. The next one we're gonna go into today, most of this group is new, so I'll make sure as the program continues, we start going over the techniques. I'll make sure to send out the kit. So grab some water real quick. What we're gonna go over today, it's gonna be kind of pressure points and then teaching those with the stick, but also manually with our hands. The first one we're gonna go is if you take your left hand, you're going to go over what's called a union valley. So you're going to take your hand, I don't know if you can see mine. So it's in the middle between our thumb and our index finger. If you take your thumb with opposite hand, you're just going to put slight pressure on there. Now, the way the kit will work for this is there's some different size balls. There's a little one, and then manually now you can take it and roll it. So if you have your kit, you can just start rolling it in your hands. And those that don't have it, what you're gonna do is called kneading. We learned it in a previous week. So basically, it's all you're doing is you're doing it in a C motion with your thumb, and you're just relaxing all those joints in your hand. So those that have their kit, go ahead and just play around with it. Those that don't, is kneading is one of the techniques we learned. So you start in that, in the union valley, in that pressure point. At the end of this, I'll show some common places where you can find pressure points. But if not, in your hand, you're just going to slowly rise up. So bringing that thumb up, you can also do the kneading. So in circular. So go ahead and go to the right hand. And then those that do the kit, keep engaging that hand. The next one we're gonna now transition to, as you continue, is gonna be those that don't have it, you're gonna take index fingers, and then you're gonna go right in between your eyebrows and that center point. A lot of this you've seen, or people have always recommended for headaches. There's still a lot of research, but there's research that says that these pressure points really help with headaches. For our athletes that have their kit, I want you to grab your preference of spiky ball and then target the whole neck area. So target your shoulders. If you want to use your foam roller stick, that's a good one too, to hit the neck. So those that don't, continue here. And what it says from research is you can either press down, or now you can go one at a time. The other one that you can do is right on the side, on the temple, is now if you do have a headache. And then from here, as other participants using the kit, is there's 2 points right below where our hairline ends on our neck. This right here, you can massage. That's another pressure point. You can use your thumbs if you're able to reach back. And then biggest thing with this is your breathing. It should never feel pain. It's nice and comfortable. Some people may have knots. And then once everyone has their kit, you're gonna use a variety of tools to explore each muscle area. So this one is a spike ball. Just go back and forth with it. From here, next one we're gonna do is now our shoulders. I've had a lot of questions. A lot of our participants always the shoulder. So the pressure points are if you start at the cap and then go right in the middle in between the neck where the neck begins. In the middle, there's that tender area. Now you do that kneading. You can also do a C and then squeezing technique. So now you're squeezing that shoulder area. And then those that have their kit, you can use your foam roller stick back and forth. You can use the spiky ball. So make sure you're breathing in this. And then a technique I'll go over in the following week is learning targeted pressure and finding it. So the way you can do it is you just scan that muscle. So you're gonna go side to side and then see if you feel any knots or a bump in that. And when you do is you press down if you do find one, and then that's that targeted pressure. So good job, everyone. Continue. The last one we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on our chest. So you're gonna start, this could be done on the wall, it could be done on the floor, it could be done with your hands. So the way you're gonna do, you're gonna start it at the left pectoral or the left chest, and you're gonna do kneading, those that are using, manually. If not, you can use one of the texture balls and then roll it. And if not, you're using your foam roller stick. So so right under the clavicle is that the bone, then start there. If you are sore, some may be sore from different So continue at your own rate. And if you want to stay in another area, by all means, do this. The whole point of this class is to dedicate time to stretching, massaging. And then we're going to explore as people that have their kit. Now we're going to go into our forearms. Those that don't have a kit, those that do, you can again use. So the forearm, we're going to start in the inner part. You can do the kneading, so circular. There you go. Good job, Barry. The other way you can do it too is those that have one, and you can foam roll it. You can use the way I've shown is those that have the roller stick. Now you can hold it with your legs if you're able to, and then you're just running your arm, or not, you can just run it, put it on your knee. Forearms is something that we don't focus on a lot. We use it a lot in many exercises, and we got to stretch them out, relax them. The next one you're going to do is the bicep muscle. So the bicep, you can relax it on your leg if you're sitting down on the ground. And then this one, it wouldn't be as hard pressure. It's a tender muscle, so you just want to do, you can do the C, just putting it over the bicep and just massaging that area. For those that have the kit, you can hand roll it with one of the textured preference balls that you like. If not, you can go on the ground, and I showed it last week where you can just lay on it and then move around. To continue in the bicep, from here, we're going to go to our tricep muscle. So it's the back. It's the same thing. This you can just elevate and then just massage the tricep using the C, or you can use the kneading, meaning you can go circular. Whatever feels good to you. Make sure you don't feel pain. If anything, when we're foam rolling is where you can feel a little discomfort, but in any of this, you should never feel pain. Next one, and we're going to start going to our big leg muscles. So if you're a seated athlete, you're sitting, or you're on the ground, we're going to start off with our quads. So the quads, now if you're a seated athlete, you can put your thumbs together and you're going to run that down in a downward motion, and then you're coming out. So that's one way you can begin. Now, those that have the kit, go ahead and use your preference. Some people like to use a manual roller stick, go up and down on their quad. Some people like to actually foam roll. I know Sam has a foam roller. And then you can also,
This work?
you can also, yeah, that'll work, Helena. Yeah, so she already has one, so you're now just run it down. The good thing about using a foam roller stick as opposed to an actual big foam roller is this, you control the amount of pressure, and this is based on your weight. So the more you lean on this, and that's the thing, you could put that much pressure, but you have to build up to it. And some people won't enjoy it. With the manual roller stick is now you are controlling that pressure, and then you really want to dig deep into that muscle, make sure it's relaxed. So go ahead and now go to the left quad. Those that are using manual, same thing. You can put the thumbs together, you're pressuring down, and then you move out in an outward motion. And then you can also do, now what I mean with targeted pressure is you're going to take that thumb and then run it laterally across the quad and see if you feel any knots. I know Frank does, he rides a bike, so he uses his quads a lot, he uses his hamstrings. Susan rides her bike. So quads are usually what's engaged the most when we do cycling, unless you're a hand cyclist. So try to find a knot, you're just running it across. And if you do, what you're gonna do is you just press down gently, hold it for 10 seconds, and then release. And the hope is that knot is gone. From here, we're gonna do our hamstrings. So see the athletes, those on the ground, same thing with this. Now for the hamstrings, it's on the bottom, you can use the middle fingers, and then you wanna put them together, and you're going up the hamstring. So you're slowly rising up. For those that have their foam roller stick, you're gonna go under. You can get on the ground and use an actual foam roller, or you can use what we learned in the past couple of weeks. And then I'll make sure for those that are getting the kit is the other way is you can go on the ground or on your chair, and you're gonna put a whatever texture ball you like, and then you put that muscle under it, and then that's gonna help release that tension, relax the muscle. For our seated athletes, the way it would look if you're on a chair is you can take that item, and then now you're hand rolling it. Good job, Sam. So continue with that. I'll keep moving because we are on time. Next one's gonna be our hamstring. Our calf muscle. See the athletes, if you're able to reach, and you're gonna use your hands, and the same thing is you're gonna take those thumbs and do kneading motions, so circular motions. There's two parts to the calf. There's the outer and then the inner. So with that, it's the soleus and the gastrocnemius. So what you want to do is the fatty side or the big side is now, it's that big part of the calf. You can do a circular. You can take your foam roller stick if you're a seated athlete and then just run it down. On the calf muscle, you can take the different size balls. And if not, if you feel more comfortable bringing it towards your knee, and then here you can really massage it. So there's a couple of variations. Another way too is, this is a good way if sometimes if you can't move your legs, you really still want to move, just add some movement to those muscles, just get them a bit movement. And manually, we're able to do that with our hands, with our palms. Next one is gonna be now our foot. So whether you're on the ground, you're standing, or you're a seated athlete, you can take an item if you have your kit. A lot of people like to do this for plantar fasciitis, so you can roll it. Now, another way too is if you're able to, you can bring your foot and then you're massaging it. And if this isn't an option, then go ahead and focus on another area. So whether it's your calf, your quad, your hamstring, your hip flexors, these are ones we've explored, but from the research, I wouldn't recommend just using a foam roller unless you do enjoy that. But that really comes inflamed, especially if you're doing a lot of cycling and you just don't want to put more pressure on it. You can just do manually with your hand. So those are the couple ones we're going to get started. So continue. I'll make sure for those that don't have the kit, I'll send it out. And then, like I said, we're going to restart the series and go over some of the things we've learned from our other group. So next what we're going to do is we're going to start our cool down in about 30 seconds. So go ahead and continue. And then grab some water.
Oh, God.
So when everyone's ready, go ahead and jump in when you're ready. Grab some water. So for our cool down, we are going to focus on areas that people have talked about a lot, is their neck, their shoulders. First one you're going to do is you're going to bring that head once everyone's ready, and go ahead and jump in when you are. You're going to bring it down, almost like a chin tuck. And I want you to focus on breathing. So bring it down. You really want to stay away from bringing that neck back from the neutral position, because that's where a lot of neck pain comes from. It's not a natural movement. So keep it nice and even and do those chin tucks. When you bring that chin down is when you take that deep breath, exhale, and rise up. Next one you're going to do is we're going to rotate to the left at your own pace. And you're breathing. It should be a slow movement. Go ahead and go to the right. And we're going to do about 4 rotations, nice and slow. Shouldn't be quick. Especially if you do know your range of motion or you have neck injuries, then go to where you feel comfortable. Good job, everyone. Next one we're going to focus into, finish your rotation. It's going to be shoulder flexion. First one, meaning you're going to start with your left arm palms are facing the ground. You're gonna go where you feel comfortable. If you're able to raise it all the way up. So you're gonna do a set of 3, nice and slow. Make sure you're breathing. So this is shoulder flexion. We're gonna target every angle of our shoulder today. Once you get your 3, rotate to the right arm at your own pace. Make sure you're breathing. This is the focus too, to breathe. From here, once you catch up, you're gonna do shoulder abduction, meaning palms are facing away. You're gonna do like a jumping jack. So go at your own pace. You're gonna do a set of 5. So this is the next side of our shoulder. And modify it. Some people, if you can't go all the way up, you just go half, wherever you feel comfortable. Good job, everyone. From here, once you get your 5, you're gonna do shoulder rotation. So this one is you have your palms facing away from you again, but you're gonna do 90 degrees. You're gonna do a set of 10 for these. So you're able to see, for some people, they are really flexible and their shoulders are not as tight and they can really go downward as well. For me, I can only go about 3/4 down, meaning my shoulders are really tight. And the last one, once you get your 10, make sure to go at your own pace, you're breathing, make sure you get water, is you're gonna do a reach back. So that's what we did earlier in our warm-up. You're just gonna go back. So go ahead and do a set of 5, nice and slow. What we just did is we hit every angle of our shoulder. Good job, everyone. So get your 5. From here, grab some water, and we're gonna now go into our elbow flexion and extension. Just a fancy way to say bicep curls. So you're gonna do, those palms are gonna be either whether you're seated athlete on the ground or standing, they're gonna be facing away from you. You're gonna rise up and squeeze for 3 and then go down. You're gonna do a set of 5. Biggest thing is as you rise up is when you inhale. And then exhale as you come down. Good job. From here, grab some water if you need it, is now you're gonna focus on your forearm. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a curl or raise that flexion, then turn the wrist and then go down. There you go, Frank. So you're going here. We've done this in a workout. So it's targeting the forearms, keep them 90 degrees, engaged. You're gonna do a set of 5. So it should be a fluid motion. You're coming up like a curl or that flexion, and then you're coming down.
Reminds me of Tai Chi.
Good job. Next one we're gonna do is breathing. We're gonna do trunk raises. So you're gonna start elevated. Remember, if you can't because of shoulder pain, and then right here is take 3 big breaths. Really extend the spine. Once you get your 3, we're gonna go to the side, to the right side, lean, and practice on your breathing. Go ahead and rotate to the left. Next, we're gonna go overhead, or up to the back, I'm sorry, and then we'll go overhead. Go ahead, now go forward. And from here, next one, last one, is if you're a seated athlete, I want you to now stretch as far as you feel comfortable in your seated position. Those that are standing, you can go into a squat and then really reach. So you're engaging those leg muscles. You're also engaging the spine. So go ahead and go straight, relax, and then do it one more time. Good job. Do one more, whether you're seated athlete or standing. And our last one we're gonna do is take those hands together, palms together. you're going to breathe at your own pace. So when you're rising, you're breathing. And exhale as you come down. So everyone's going to go differently. It's your own pace. You're going to do 5 of them. What this is doing, it's engaging not only our breathing, our shoulders, that rotator cuff. So get your 5 at your own pace. Good job, everyone. And once you get your 5, grab some water. And we are done. I got to